Okay, you got your apple. What do you do with it now? Well, here's an idea. You can make them into a caramel apple. These things are gobbled up all year long, but for some reason, they're even more popular around Halloween. So let's go behind the scenes to watch as apple experts turn this into this. We all know an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but hey, no one said it couldn't be a caramel apple, right? These fruity treats are the perfect combination of healthy snack and decadent dessert, all ready to eat on a neat little stick.
There's some arguments over the history of caramel apples, but some would argue that Chicago is the caramel apple capital of the world.
Well then, let's head to the Windy City to take a look at how these snacks get from tree to treat. Affy Tapple of Chicago makes millions of taffy apples each year. It all starts with the apples themselves.
The best apples to use for caramel apples are a nice, sweet, tart, and firm apple. The ones we use the most of are Granny Smith and Jonathan apples.
The apples are unpacked, inspected, and any bad apples are picked out.
The reject apples actually go to a local juicer who creates apple juice out of them.
Then things get a little sticky. The apples are picked off the conveyor belt, carefully centered, and then a stick is inserted through the core. This part is a little tricky, so it's done by highly trained apple sticking experts.
An apple is a product of nature and it's not a perfect sphere. So in order to really make the best caramel apple, you need to put the stick directly through the core.
Next, the perfectly speared spheres are slotted onto this special machine that takes them for a Ferris wheel-like ride to the dipping area. The apples dive into a pool of hot, gooey caramel, but it's not the common kind you'd buy at the store.
Some people think that we have people sitting in the back unwrapping wrappers and throwing little pieces of caramel and melting them. That's absolutely not true.
Instead, Affy Tapple makes up big batches of its own special caramel coating.
We have a secret recipe that we've used for 50 years. We have not tweaked it.
But sorry, we can't reveal exactly what that recipe is.
It's a secret.
And there is some secret stuff, but the basic ingredients are corn syrup, milk, and sugar, mixed together and heated up. The apples dive into the caramel dip and then are twirled around to shake off the excess. After the apples do their dip, they are wheeled around a tray of peanuts so that every side is consistently coated. Workers give the apples a final look over at this point, hand dipping any that are maybe a little nude into the nuts so they're completely covered. Then it's off to the packaging area where each apple goes into its own little plastic pack. The demand for the apples peaks in summer and fall as caramel apples are sold as both carnival treats and Halloween goodies. On a busy day, Affy Tapple can turn out 250,000 apples.
Over the course of a year, we'll run in excess of 11-12 million apples. And there's even times where we tap out a lot of the orchards in different parts of the country.
And America's craving for these caramel treats is growing.
Caramel apples, as a business, have grown every year over the last 10 years, while some of the other candies have actually dropped and decreased.
Part of their popularity is that they are seen as both yummy and healthy.
Kids love it, and parents love it for kids because it's a fresh apple. It's a good, healthy snack, not just a fun carnival item.
Caramel apples can also be made at home if you don't want the factory having all the fun. And what about caramel apple's close cousin, the candy apple? Well, that's a whole different thing, made with hard sugar on the outside to give a crunchy, not chewy coating.
Candy apples are traditionally on the East Coast and on the West Coast. Because caramel apples got their start here in the Midwest, you really don't see candy apples too often anywhere in this area.
So don't expect anyone at Affy Tapple to help you make those.